Hi, my name is Miriam, and I am here to talk about boy's child. Boy child go through many problems in life because most people they regard a boy child as the head or as the child who should be more understanding than the girl child. And the girl child was empowered from long time ago by the government, by the society, by the parents, while the boy child is never given any protection. The boy child is supposed to fight for himself. The boy child is supposed to understand things automatically, and the boy child is expected to know so many things. But in the real thing is that boy child is as good as a girl child. So the boy child goes through a lot of challenges because of the expectation of the society, the expectations of the parents, and the expectations of the people surrounding them. Even in school, the boy child is more cherished than the girl child, because mostly when the boy is growing up, whether in school, whether in at home, he's not around to cry. So when he is looking for a shoulder to cry on, nobody wants to hear about it. Nobody wants to hear about the boy child problems. And so he's not supposed to cry. He's not supposed to share his problems. And so he has a very hard life. And this make some of the boy child very hard. And some of them, they end up even ending their life, because the boy child is the man who get married. A boy child is the men we see, and the most of them have experienced this hardship when they were growing up, for the expectation the society has, the expectation from the government. Because once the boy child is 18 years, like in Kenya, if the child is 18 years, he is regarded as adult. So when the boy child is regarded as adult, and sometimes he goes through a lot of challenges, but no one wants to hear. And then they go to school, and the teacher also get very hardened with them. So when they are going through problems, nobody wants to understand. And even the teachers, they tend to punish them even when they are going through hell. Sometimes other boys tend to harass or bully the boy child. The girl child, sometimes she is able to explain herself, but the boy child is not able to explain himself. And so when he keep quiet, no one understand him, and people would think maybe he is rude, he is just arrogant, and all these kind of things. And so they are punished most of the times, and this make them lose hope. They are desperate in life. They don't know what to do. And even sometimes, even at home, the parents don't understand them. And most the age which the boy child has a problem is the age between 14 years to 22 years, because that is when the boy child become want to know who he is. And so before he recognizes himself, the society start harassing the boy and think he is just being rude, he is just thinking that he is an adult, and he is not. So they become harder and harder and hard. And this bring a lot of differences between the boy child and the society, the boy child and the parents. And so he's not given a chance to explain himself. And this brings a lot of problems between the boy child, and even the boy child sometimes he is not able to fight for himself. So mostly what they do, they keep quiet. And once you keep quiet, people they tend to think that you agree with whatever the society or whatever the people are talking about. So what we can see is that the boy child has a lot of problems, and the boy child face a lot of problems. And what I want as a society to think about is how we can help the boy child, so that this boy child can face the challenges with confidence. Even if it is in school, if he is bullied, he know how to handle it. And he can move in the good direction, because once he is cherished, he make wrong decisions. And that is why we see the boy child, especially in this country, they get lost because they don't know what to do. The society have already judged them. Sometimes even the church judge them, the parent judge them, and even the sisters and brother and the other sisters charge them and judge them, and so they are lonely. They don't know where to run to, because if a child cannot run to his parent, he cannot run to church, he cannot tell the teacher his problem, then that child will grow with a lot of bitterness and loneliness. And it's only God sometimes who can only remove his minds, what he is and what he is doing, because he can be influenced by the bad people. Because sometimes we tend, like, let's say an example, a child can come from school and arrive home late, and the parent judge the child and start questioning where he is going. But sometimes maybe he's just bold, and yeah, he had a lot of problems, but he was not able to explain. I, as a girl child, there's a time when I started working, and the police, we were handled to police cells, and I had a brother, and he couldn't find me. He couldn't understand where I went, because the people in where I was working had already reported that I didn't report to work, and I was staying with my brother, and my brother could not understand where I was. So when I came home, though I'm not a boy child, when I came home, he was very, very harsh, and he didn't want any explanation, and he thought that because now I am working, I have started moving out wherever I want, I'm not going to work because of my friends and all this kind of thing. I was already judged. But surprisingly, I was in police cells, and yeah, I was not able to explain myself because I was not given a chance, and I felt a lot of pain. So you can imagine, this is a girl child. You can imagine a boy child, maybe something happened, and he was locked in cells, and even he slept overnight. And then when he come home, or when he come to the people he loves, they don't want to ask him a question. They don't even want him to explain. They're just judging him. Now you slept out, you had many places to go and all this, you think you are mature and all this kind of thing. Well, for a boy child, that can be very difficult, and it can be very, very hard. And what they does, they isolate themselves, and whether it is in the church, if you don't handle them well, they'll just go away. Sometimes you can ask them questions, and these questions you are not asking them, you're not advising them, you're just judging them. And because they didn't know it was wrong, or maybe they can explain why, but you didn't give them a chance, these boys, they'll run away from church. We have also seen the boy child not continuing with education simply because the punish he got from the teacher was too harsh, and he felt, I didn't do the wrong thing to be punished this way, and this discouraged the boy to continue with education, and so he lose the education. So that is why I'm saying it's very important as a parent, or even the society, the schools, the teachers, the government. It is high time we start thinking about boy child, because boy child, most of the time, he is not able to explain himself. I myself, I'm now a parent, and I have boys, and I came to learn that boys needs a lot of time for you to understand them. You need to sit down with them, you need to give them a lot of ear, so that they explain to them what is happening in their life. And also, I've seen that these days we might judge them because there are so many things happening in this world, and now there are so many teachers. Like, there is internet. In our days, there was no internet, and internet is another teacher. Google is a teacher. You hear them saying, ask Google. So they think Gogo is a good teacher. Okay, we also have the peer group. Peer group is also another teacher. And when we come to church also, there are some people who are in church, but they don't have good intention of these boys. As you know, these days that things have turned upside down. There are some people who just want the boys to show them bad things. And even if some are even pastors, but they are doing bad things to these boys. So now a boy has become a very endangered species. And if we don't think how we can help this boy child, it will be a very big problem. And that is why you see like there are few men than women, or boy child, they are few than girl child, because they are dying early, they are getting lost, they are confused, they are the ones who are taking drugs. If you see the street people, the majority are boys. If you go to our jails, the majority are boys. And at the same time, we are saying that we have the majority of girls than boys. But when it comes to areas like the jail, you find that boy child there are more boy child in the jail than girl child. When you come to the street boys, there are more than street girls. Why? It's because this boy child had no one to listen. They didn't have any shoulder to cry on, and it has put a lot of burden on them, and they don't know what to do. Sometimes if you talk to them, you just see they are just desperate. They are looking for a shoulder to cry on. They are wondering what to do, because this teacher, the internet teacher, is telling them this, and the gogo is telling this, the other teacher is saying this. The teacher they had trusted, they let them down, and some of them even introduced them to very bad things. And so yeah, the society also is very harsh on them. When it comes to the government, is also harsh on the boy child. And it seems that the boy child has no one to run to. He has no one to listen to. So yeah, even in the churches, let us know how to handle boy child. Later, if you see them like when they come to teenagers, they are not even concentrating in church, they are not many in church, find out why. If you see they have been coming to church and they are not longer coming, find out why, and approach them in the right way so that they are able to explain themselves, and they can pour out their heart, and you see how you can help them. Because if you tell them to go, let's say that boy has been coming to church and you think he's not a good boy and you want him to go. If you tell them to go, where are you telling them to go? They are getting lost. Wherever you are sending them, they are going to meet other teachers who are not welcoming. They are going to teach them other things, worse things. And if it is the parent, if a child, let's say he has come and you start telling him, you are going to go back to where you have been going, and yeah, he can go back there, but don't forget, where has he been? Where are you going to tell him to go back? Maybe even he was in danger. Then you tell him to go back, he'll think twice. He'll think, okay, this is not danger, so yeah, I can go back and maybe teach myself to do these things, maybe. And that is why you find young people doing the wrong thing. You find a young boy, they are caught stealing or something like that, holding guns and all these type of things, because maybe they went to the church and they were told to go. They went home, they were told to go, and the society also reject them, and they have nowhere to go, so they go doing the wrong thing. And that is why I think as a society, or as the parents, or even the government, it's high time we start thinking about this boy child. How can we help the boy child? How can we empower the boy child? Because the boy child loses the confidence very easily. If a boy child has been a church member and you tend to tell him he's he is not the right person to be in the church and all these kind of things, because there are some pastors who do that. They tell them, the way you dress, I don't like it, I don't like your hair, I don't like your whatever, and they don't talk them in the right way. Those children, they will have a very hard heart, and that will can even finish his life. He can isolate himself simply because of something very, very small. Not only that, even the parent, I've seen children who have spoken to me that sometimes he came back home late and the parent did not find out why, what only he did. This is the time you are coming to my house. As long as you are under my roof, I am not going to excuse me, I'm not going to entertain this. And what they do is that they tell them, go back there. But where you are sending him back, oh my goodness, it is the worst place you are sending this boy. Excuse me. So please, I would urge the parent, please don't tell your children go back there. Don't tell your children that I have nothing to do with you. Don't tell your children that, the pastors, please don't harass the children that he's dressed in a bad way or this. If you want to tell them, please talk to them, counsel them, and be the counselor of that child, so that even if he doesn't come, he will know that he's doing the wrong thing. But if you don't do that, he will go with a hard heart, and then again he goes somewhere else, he is told the same thing, and he'll think the society, the world is not for him, and it will be very, very hard. So even in our schools, teachers, please take care of the boy child. Please be good teachers. Do not punish them without explanation. Let them explain themselves. Teach them to explain themselves so that they start having confidence, because most of the boys now are losing confidence, and they think if they take drugs, that is when they gain confidence. So mostly, if you ask, I have spoken to boys who take drugs, and they tell you, no, I started taking drugs because even when I go at home, they won't let me talk, and when I talk, they won't believe in me. And so I thought I'm doing the wrong thing. And I thought if I want to face them, I have to take drugs. You see, sometimes we push them that far. So please, let us be careful how we are going to bring up the boy child so that they don't get lost. Now, our viewers, my name is Marianne, and we are trying to save the boy child. We are trying to see how we can save the boy child. So be a part of us so that you can share your story, and that story can encourage another boy child. Whether you are a mother, how your boy child, whatever happened, and what you think if it was done, your boy child could be safer. So please let us think about boy child in a very different angle so that we can help this boy child, and we can see how we are going to save the boy child. So thank you very much. I would urge you to share this episode, and also you can subscribe, likes, so that you can give us the support how we can save this boy child. Thank you very much. Again, I am Marianne, and this is the story of a boy child. Thank you very much for watching.